What is going on there, ladies and gentlemen, beasts and fellow monsters? How you guys doing today? Good? Awesome to hear. Monster Man Vapes coming back with another review. I know I haven't put one out for a little bit, but I am back with another one. And in today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the Centurion V2 from Cloud Chasers Incorporated. Another 30mm RDA. Now, this is a little bit older. It's been out for roughly a year or more. So, a little bit on the older side, but is it still relevant? You're going to have to find that out. So, like I always do, let's dive down to the table and take a closer look at the Centurion V2. Alright folks, so here's the box that the Centurion V2 will come in. Here is the color rendition of the RDA. This is the stainless steel rendition. Obviously the Vapors Cloud logo with Centurion V2 here at the top. On this side, you got nothing here, nothing there, and nothing at the bottom. Pretty plain Jane for this box. So when you open the box, at the bottom of the lid it says Cloud Chasers Inc. And here is all you get with the RDA. First off, you get 2 extra airflow barrels, a spare Ultim drip tip, and you get a little goodie bag filled with extra O-rings, an extra 510 pin, and extra clamps, and extra connection screws. So here's the Centurion V2 RDA. Starting from the top, you have this big, tall drip tip that does come out like so. You got a nice silicone O-ring in there, and it simply pops in. Fits pretty snug, actually. Here's a look at the airflow chuff cap. As you can see, it has that stair step design. So when you have the RDA fully together, airflow right here, and you just turn it to close it off in stair-step motion, basically. Here is the bottom of the RDA. As you can see, Centurion V2, Cloud Chasers Incorporated, and the serial number 5472. So here's a look at the build deck. Dual O-ringed here at the bottom. This is a 30mm RDA. Connection style is similar to that of the Goon. It is a clamp style, but instead of the clamps having 2 screws apiece where you put the leads in between them, this has 1 connection screw per side, and you just put the leads on either side of each other. The tolerances of the screws are nice and smooth. They do come out with little to no effort, just as long as you do not over tighten them. So I raised this clamp up to kind of show you, unlike the Goon, you put a leg there and the other leg there for each coil. So you have a coil on this side, you'll usually put your negative right there or right there. You can kind of stack these up. These clamps are fairly thick, so if you have thin enough wire and you decide to stack the leads and share the same side of the post, like I said, if they're thin enough, you can really squish them down to get a nice connection. So why don't we go ahead and put a build in here, shall we? And the coils that I am using, I'm going to be using some frame staple coils sent to me by Vaporhogs Anonymous. So let's get to it. Alright folks, so that is the Centurion V2 RDA, built, wicked, and juiced. So let's bring it back up to the original FaceTime, give you my final thoughts, pricing, and tell you what I think about it. Alright guys, we're back here up top with the Centurion V2 RDA. Now, first thing I'm going to say before I take a vape off of this is there's a lot of airflow, and I mean a lot. Like, there is no resistance when it comes to wide open on this thing. you might as well just be going, because that's how much resistance there truly is. So those frame staple coils came out to a 0.12, and I got it at 150 watts. So cheers. Now, normally where I have been running this RDA is roughly between halfway to around 3/4 of the way open. Because wide open, you need to have a huge build in there. I mean huge, just to even utilize that much airflow. Because you put these frame staples, you know, you're typically your average size frame staple build. You know, it's like 5 wraps on a 3mm. You know, normal size. I'm more on the probably more wider, chunkier side actually. But all the way open airflow mutes the flavor a lot. But halfway open flavor is pretty good. The overall machining of this RDA was actually very, very nice. I like how the cap feels. You do have to give it a little bit of a wiggle to take it off, but there is no risk of it, you know, sliding off when you grab it by the RDA or nothing. And it kind of has this click to it. So as you notice, I wiggle it on. I get on that first O-ring, and I can just simply push down, and it kind of clips into place. That's actually a pretty nice touch. The thickness of the clamps, holy shit. You can really torque down on those things, and they will not bend, they won't break. The screws being big too, never had a stripping issue with those. This thing is made to put big chunky builds in, and it's made to handle tightness. It's made to handle you just torquing down on those screws to make sure that those coils are really bedded in. Now, the one thing I've noticed about a lot of 30mm RDAs here lately, kind of like the Asgard, they're kind of going more with a lower profile drip tip. That I do not like. The fact that I still haven't found a aftermarket drip tip for the Asgard. But I liked the height of the drip tip on this one. It is super tall, it's super wide, and it just feels comfortable. Now, the flavor or pretty much depend on what you put in it. And I'm a firm believer of your flavor is determined by your coils, wicks, and airflow. Now you saw how high I had those coils set, and that is to get the airflow right underneath them and then back up. And in my opinion, that's how you're going to get the best flavor. And also you go a little more on the chunky side with your build. Now I did buy this from my local vape shop, and at the time I bought it, it was about 75 bucks. Now, is that too much? If you think about it, it sounds like that. This is not a budget-friendly RDA. This is more higher end. I'm not saying this RDA is high end, but it's higher up on the spectrum as far as pricing. But 75 bucks is actually not terrible, mainly because you get 3 different types of airflow, 3 different barrels. Spare drip tip, spare clamps, spare screws, spare O-rings. You get spare everything. One thing I really don't like what you get as far as spare parts wise is an Ultim drip tip. I do not like Ultim. I would like it a lot better if it came with a spare Delrin drip tip. So the 5-star rating, I'm actually going to give the Centurion V2. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Machining is good. Airflow is actually smooth. The flavor is good, but that depends on what you build, how you build it, and how you wick it, and how you place the coils for the airflow. So there's a lot of factors that kind of affect the rating a little bit, but 3.5, I believe, is a good spot to put this RDA in. So guys, thank you so much for watching this review. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would highly, highly appreciate it. And as always, guys, until next time, Monster Man Vapes, signing off.